Bhasin साहब, good morning.
या गुड मॉर्निंग निकुंज।
How's Delhi? ठंड आ गई?
हाँ बिल्कुल ठंड आ गई है सुबह सुबह।
So what should one do on a chilly morning in Delhi and it's a smoggy morning in Mumbai? Identify some stock ideas, some garma garm stock ideas where investors and traders can make money in the short term and the medium term.
So we think that one of our topics is Canfin Home from 465 levels, and we think that being the third largest mortgage player and one of the largest in the small ticket, 15 to 30 lakhs, they are talking of doubling their book in the second half. Plus, there was this little ambiguity because of a change of CEO who left and went to PNB. And they said by the end of this month, the new external CEO will be back on card. I think Canfin Home fits the bill perfectly. It has very low delinquencies, its recoveries are very fast, and in this ticket, they are seeing lot of growth. Plus, they have no problem of capital adequacy. Canara Bank is well adequated, and I think Canfin Home fits the bill perfectly to hit at least 750 by maybe early before the budget. That would be my top pick. Other than that, I like some of the OEMs like Motherson and Bosch. I think the rural market, which has underperformed, will start to see a lot of growth now in January. And Hero and Bajaj Auto could be two-wheelers which can benefit. They have underperformed. And of course, the two small banks, IDFC First, RBL, which are leading from the front. IDFC First has been one of our two top picks, and we think that that stock can still give you a 25% upside. And last but not least, in the large caps, I like Ultratech and I like DLF.
Okay. Why DLF, Mr. Bhasin? What is so unique about DLF? Why not a Mumbai-based real estate company? I mean, is it a regional bias because आप गुड़गांव से join कर रहे हो DLF?
No, I would have added Godrej Property also, but since I named a lot of stocks, I also own Godrej Property, but DLF simply on the back, Nikun, that 75% of their debt has been, they've reduced that. They've encashed the commercial real estate or the commercial real estate space. If you came to Gurgaon, you would see that there is no stone left unturned. They've capitalized on everything from plots where they've constructed floors to commercial real estate, which is up and running. And I think that now, they will be in a very, very sweet spot to encash on all that. They've also said that they will be doing sales of something like 3,000 crore or 7,500, 8,000 crore by the year end. You can mark my words, it will be beyond 10,000 because just in the last month before the Navratras, they sold almost 2,000 crore of flats in just a spate of 10 days. So the demand for housing is strong. They are encashing on the brand value. And same is the case with Godrej. When did you ever see Godrej actually acquire large tracts of land? It's only when the visibility is very, very strong. So these two are pedigree names, and we continue to think they can be outperformers in 2023.
Oh, that's right. There's an absolute, I don't know how else to describe it better so our viewers get it. There's a tezi in the Gurgaon real estate market. If you just go there, and I come from Gurgaon, went looking around, it's absolutely crazy what we're actually seeing when, they're showing sample flats, etc. But Sanjiv Bhasin, something else Gurgaon is becoming famous for, food. And I know your son is running one of the most popular restaurants in Gurgaon. But if I can ask you that if you had to pick, as a market person, the QSR stocks, which had seen such a big run-up in the reopening trade, would there still be a trade there? Are you looking? I'm also asking this because, the holiday season is coming back. People are going out a lot more. Try getting a restaurant in Gurgaon, a table in Gurgaon.
So, Nayantara, firstly, you've not come and had the best butter chicken in town. And I've still booked your seat. So whenever you are free, you're most welcome with the entire ET team. You'll get really nice chicken tikka and butter chicken. I'm a veg, but my son is strongly a non-veg. Aside from that, Zomato. He says, Papa, 23% of my earning goes with Zomato. And if you paid for clicks and the works, so Zomato is making money. And there is no question about that. As a disclosure, in this carnage around this 55, we have picked up Zomato for some of our top clients, but we've told them don't see quarterly numbers for the next 2 years. See only when the stock price reaches something like 140. And that would be one of my top picks in this QSR. I think they are really, raking in the bucks, and it's a matter of time before they turn profitable.
I'm intrigued to know what you think of the fintech names, the likes of Zomato, the likes of Nykaa, PB Fintech. They've seen some amount of recovery, Paytm for that matter as well, but are you convinced that the worst is behind?
No, no, Aisha, I was never a favorite of these stocks. These are all FI favorite stocks. When they got hammered, there was excessive selling by the private equity people. Now they are seeing value fishing because they'll get you trapped into that. So be specific in what you want to buy. I don't think some of the businesses are very, very smooth, but the markets and the investors don't have patience to sit through 3, 4, 5, 8 quarters. Zomato is one stock which we think fits the bill perfectly. We are invested there as a disclosure, and we think Zomato is, the perfect combination of the fintech space. The others, we would wait for time. If you have trading rallies, you can play, 450, 500 entry into Paytm can easily give you 750. Same would be the case with a lot of, but these are more of FI stocks where they'll sell and buy, and you will actually end up on the wrong side. So be watchful, but if you have done your diligence, then Zomato fits the bill.
Sanjiv, highlight for our viewers and elaborate a little bit as to why is it that you're liking OEMs right now? Because, they've already seen a fair amount of run-up. What makes you so bullish and why is it that you continue to like these names?
So simple thing, Aisha, look, the disruption in China and Europe is going to take time. Whereas the demand for autos is very, very strong. Last month we saw the auto sales in Europe itself were at a 2-year high. And that means that a large part of the PLI or the shifting is going to come to India. And that's why I took names of pedigree names. Bosch has been a relative outperformer. The numbers are strong. And same is the case with Motherson. It has been an underperformer, but they are investing even in times which are difficult in Algeria, in other places where they foresee that the next 2 years may be the brightest. So I am sticking with the large cap best plays, and I think their underperformance will now turn to outperformance. Simply on the back that the supply chain or the recoming of China and Europe will take time, and India stands to benefit. So as a disclosure, both Motherson and Bosch are in our portfolios, but we think that they are very, very well suited for this, shifting from China, Europe to India as an outsourcing.
The likes of a BHEL are trading close to their 52-week highs, and we've seen a lot of traction within this entire capital goods space, execution, ordering momentum, all set to pick up, some calling it the manufacturing renaissance as well of the country. So given that this theme is very hot right now, what is it that you would like within this entire space?
So, Aman, you cannot but say that you have made money hands over fist. 40 has become 95. Who thought? So that's what I said, that the darlings have been the worst performers in the last 10 years. That is the PSUs. I think it is time to take money off PSUs. Even the PSU banks, we've had a huge following and we've had a huge overweight on these stocks in the last 6 months. But like I said, you can't run with the hares and hunt with the hounds. This is not the time to be so adventurous. I would still stick with 3 names, ABB, Cummins, Siemens, and L&T. I would stay with these 4 pedigree stocks. BHEL was one of our top picks around that 35-40 levels, but we are not chasing it at these levels. We are systematically booking profit across the board, whether it's PSU banks or some of the defense companies and some of these plays. And we would rather wait for these pedigree names, like the names of ABB, Siemens, Cummins, Larsen, which would be inordinate beneficiaries of the turn in capex.
Then is it that you would be betting on Sanjiv?
I didn't get your last question.
Which are the railway and defense stocks that you would like?
No, we've had a coverage on HAL and BEL since, they've almost tripled from there. We think Titagar Wagons is a very good play. But look, don't get caught up in this muddle. The rail budget always sees these stocks run far more than what their value is, and then they tend to fade out. So like I said, even though I have been very, very bullish on the markets, a touch of caution here. I am actually booking profits across the board and maybe going on a holiday. And when I come back in January second half, then when we see the much needed correction take place, then we will be seeing what the what the look of the market is. Right now, overbought and extremely stressed territory. Be watchful, but participate.
I have a final question for you. suppose this show a client walks up to you, Sanjeev Saab, I saw you on ET now. I don't have appetite to manage passive money and I don't track the companies the way you track. Here's my check. You're free to invest whatever stock you want to buy, whatever quantity you want to buy, but double the money in 2.5 to 3 years. If you have to double somebody's money in 2.5 to 3 years, which is a reasonable time frame, what would that portfolio contain?
No, Nikunj, at this price to start saying doubling, this is the problem. You follow me on ET Swadesh. I've been coming for the last 5 months, and that was the time. At 16,000, there was enough room of safety. At 19,000, there is zilch. So I would tell him, wait till January. I would deny myself the pleasure of managing money right now. Wait till the second half of January when we get something of a 17,200. That's the time you can start to look. Wait for the budget. Large part of the good news is there. If you still insist, then stick with the 4 large caps. Ultratech, Reliance, ICICI Bank, and Tata Motor. These would be my 4 stocks which I would pedigree because I am not going to take adventure at 19,000.
Okay, be safe, don't get to risk at these levels. That's the word coming in from Sanjiv Bhasin. And Sanjiv, why only Nayantara? Avan and I are also feeling a little left out. We also want the butter chicken.
Yes, I told you the whole entire team is most welcome. I mean, Pankaj made a foray there and he was a vegetarian. But you people are most welcome. It's your own restaurant. It would be my pleasure.
Great. We'll see you in Delhi soon. Let the cold subside a little bit and the AQI levels as well. But we'll definitely take you up on it. Good speaking
with you.
But
Aisha, if you miss the Delhi cold, then you're missing everything. Ask Nayantara. This is the best season to be in Delhi. अगर दिल्ली की सर्दी नहीं देखी तो फिर क्या देखा?
Best time of the year.
Sanjeev, I'm a Delhi wala only. But yes, I will come back soon.
It's the best time of the year with lazy lunches, crispy winter air, and it's quite a struggle to be in the studio by 8 a.m. But we Delhi walas are used to it. And don't forget sarson ka saag, Sanjiv Bhasin. Aisha forgot about that for the vegetarian options in Delhi.
We'll save it for Nikunj. But yes, we will see you in Delhi very soon. Good speaking with you, Sanjeev. Thank you, and we hope to see you more often.
Thank you, surely.
Okay.